just when you thought it was safe to go back onto the internet. Good evening, everybody. This is once again your friendly neighbourhood ranting Brummie, and today we are going to be playing Jaws, the text adventure. It's a little bit of a homage, really, to the classic 1975 film, and to, I suppose you could say, home computer games from the 1980s. This isn't an officially licensed Jaws game. It's a bit of a parody. It's a bit of an affectionate homage, as we'll see in a moment when we start playing. But of course, if you do like this video, don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit that like button for us as well. So then, Jaws was originally a novel written by Peter Benchley in the early 1970s, and then the following year it was adapted into one of arguably the first summer blockbusters. It was directed by Steven Spielberg, starred Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss, about a great white shark that terrorised the village of Amity Island. As I say, it was one of the first ever kind of summer blockbusters. It was actually said that it got people off the beaches and into the cinema, and kind of pioneered, really, I suppose, the great monster film. There have been a lot of similar films like that. Obviously, Jaws itself has been parodied, and there's been lots of tropes that have come out of this film. But that's because they're all done so well in the first place. As you can see, this does very much look a kind of ZX Spectrum type game. The graphics are very specky. That's all part of this game's charm, I think. But of course, Jaws itself, the 1975 film, was of course a huge hit, and it did spawn something of a franchise. There was a sequel, Jaws 2, which came out in 1978. Spielberg and Benchley didn't have anything to do with it, but it was an okay sequel. It had its moments. It pretty much featured the same cast, even though the story was basically the same. Then in the 1980s, things went a bit south for our fishy friend here. Jaws 3D was an attempt to try and bring 3D imaging to the cinema, and this was way before the current style of 3D, which in itself has actually gone out of fashion. I think the last time I went to see anything in 3D was probably the Doctor Who 50th anniversary special. But Jaws 3D had the very kind of primitive 3D style effects, and of course in the cinema you had to wear those glasses. Again, a bit like the 10th Doctor David Tennant did in, I think it was Doomsday, the Doctor Who episode. But anyway, it's not aged particularly well. It featured a very young Dennis Quaid, and some of the 3D special effects don't really translate well, particularly if you watch it on a modern HD TV. Sometimes ITV3 show the Jaws films when they're not showing James Bond films to death half the time. But a lot of the effects, they don't translate particularly well, especially when you've got bits of shark flying towards you at the end. Spoilers, by the way. And then, of course, there was Jaws the Revenge, which came out in 1987. And is widely regarded as not just one of the worst sequels, but possibly one of the worst films of all time. It's certainly very nonsensical in terms of the plot. And it features a very interesting turn from none other than Michael Caine. A bad impression incoming, by the way. He actually missed picking up an Oscar for, I think it was Hannah and Her Sisters, and he was filming Jaws the Revenge at the time. And when it came out, Michael Caine's famous statement about the film was, I have not seen it, but by all accounts it is terrible. I have, however, seen the house that it built, and it is terrific. You've got to love yourself a bit of Michael Caine, haven't you? In terms of video games, Jaws as well hasn't really had a huge back catalogue. And of course there was the LJN released game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which came out in the same year actually as Jaws the Revenge, though it wasn't specifically marketed as a tie-in game. It pretty much follows the plot of the film, and obviously you kill Jaws at the end in the game in the same way that the shark is killed in the film, but it wasn't specifically marketed as a time film. The game was just called Jaws. And of course it was reviewed by the angry video game nerd James Rolfe as part of his Spielberg games review, and I'll put that up at the end of this video. And of course I'll leave a link to this game in the description as well if you want to go and play it for yourself. And in terms of other Jaws video games, I think there was Jaws the video game that came out on the Amiga in the 1980s on the home computer systems. I don't know if it came out on the Commodore 64. There certainly wasn't a CPC game. And of course there was also Jaws Unleashed, which came out on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox in 2006. And Nerdcubed actually reviewed that, I think about 6 years ago. That game was kind of like Grand Theft Auto underwater. You actually played as the shark. It was a kind of free roaming element to it. You had missions as well. I'll also link NerdCube's video at the end of this video as well. So you've got 2 doses of sharkly goodness. If you want to go back and, well, maybe find something a million times funnier than this video as well. So here we are. This is our title screen. Jaws, our fishy friend there on the right. Either looking like he's going to Comic-Con dressed as the Joker, probably Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, or it's a female shark with far too much lipstick on. Yes, I know, obviously it's blood. Curiously, I wonder, the shark in Jaws 3D was actually specified as a female shark, but I don't know if the one in the first film was. I think female great white sharks grow larger than males. I don't know, ask David Attenborough. But I don't know if it was specified that the original Jaws was a female shark. I think it might have been in Jaws the Revenge as well. There was nothing specific, I think, in the film or in the Peter Benchley books. Curious. Okay, well, let's get into this. So, press any key to start. There we go. Classic specky graphics. You are swimming alone out at sea as the sun sets. Between rumbles from your stomach, you hear a bell ringing to the east. Now let's have a quick look at the commands. Not so much the controls, I suppose you could call them inputs. So you can move around. It's very much kind of classic on-rails text adventure, this one. Obviously, modern text adventures like AI Dungeon obviously are very much open world. But of course, it's a bit of a parody, it's a bit of a homage to text adventure games in general. As you can see, you can move around north, south, east, west, up and down, have a look at your inventory, have a look around if you get lost. You can even store your position and quit. It's a very, very short game, this one. So I don't see any need to do that. But it says other commands will need to be discovered when required. But of course, the command we're all interested in is this one, eat. We're going to be doing quite a lot of that in this game, folks. Okay, now let's just get back to, excuse me, where we were. Okay, so the only way we can head is east, and I think one of the things you'll find with these old kind of on-rail text adventures, you can get lost quite easily, so we're probably going to be raking over a lot of old ground as we go through this video. A buoy rocks back and forth on the gentle waves, ringing as it sways. West leads back out to sea, further east is an island. Now we've just come from the east, so shall we go east again? Here we go. Waves lap up against a sandy beach bathed in a red glow. West is the buoy. You notice something splashing around here. A naked woman is on the surface. I think you can tell what's going to happen here now. Yes, the infamous opening scene from Jaws when a woman is skinny dipping. And, well, let's recreate that moment, shall we? You have to specify something after eat. Right, fair enough. Eat woman. First mistake of the video. Right, here we go. Are we all ready? 3, 2, 1. Splashy. You nibble playfully at her toes, then consume most of her main organs. You are now 12% full. Yes, this shark has got some kind of monitor in its mouth so it knows exactly how much food it's got in it. That would be very, very useful in real life. The water tastes reassuringly bloody. Delicious. You can follow the shore south, so let's go south. You swim slowly through the night, contemplating the solitary brutality of your existence as an apex predator. I didn't think this game was going to get that quite existential. That's one of those words I can't pronounce. Yep, we're going through that, aren't we? Continuing south, we'll bring you near some buildings after sunrise. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame there isn't really a soundtrack to this game. When you first load it up, it does play a few bars of the infamous Jaws theme tune, courtesy of John Williams. He was responsible for creating so many great film scores throughout the whole 1980s and the 70s up until the present day. I think he celebrated his 90th birthday recently. But anyway, south we go. And it's back in the daytime. Okay. Right, you are near a beach packed with holidaymakers. They look so happy. Oh, a black dog is paddling with a stick in its mouth, and there's a young boy on an inflatable. The southwest is the southwest corner of the island is to the south. Oh, we've got a bit of a choice here, everybody. Now, in the film, I think the dog survived and the boy was eaten. Well, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm not going to advocate eating kids. We are going to advocate eating a dog, though. Sure, what they say, a dog isn't just for Christmas. There should be some liver left over for Boxing Day too. And that joke came from Jeremy Clarkson, not from me, so please don't leave angry comments. Eat dog. Oh, it didn't seem to suffer much, and no one seems to have noticed, and you are now 20% full. Excuse me again. Okay, so we're still on the beach. We're not going to eat the boy. Let's go south. Okay, you are off the southwest corner of the island. East takes you around to the southern shore, while west leads out to sea. The beach is north. We've just come from the beach, so do we go east again? Okay, right, you are near a wooden pier with two men standing on it. You wonder if they are good friends. A chunk of meat is hanging on a chain in the water. West goes to the corner of the island, south leads out to sea, and east runs to the shore. Okay, let's eat the meat. Again, no lewd comments in the comments, please. Right, how much is that going to fill us? Okay, as you grab your snack, the chain pulls the pier apart. One man falls into the water, but is rescued by his helpful friend. Oh, isn't that nice? You're now 26% full. Only 6%. That wasn't a lot of meat then. Okay, you are near a broken wooden pier. Two men stand on the shore. West goes to the corner of the island. The south is out to sea, and east runs along the shore. Can we eat the men? Can we? Oh, no, we can't. You leap up and bare your teeth at them, but you can't reach them. They look at you with fear. Okay, I don't think we're going to get much out of that one. So if we go south again, you are below a fishing vessel. Its net symbolically blocking away out to sea. The pier is to the north. Attack vessel? Well, good luck getting any sleep tonight, everybody. Well, that was clearly a creator cameo. I think that's one of the creators of the game who decided to put himself in with a picture of his eye hanging out. Oh, what a shame. Okay, you tear into the hole, somehow managing to eat just one of the fisherman's eyes in the process. You are now 27% full. You are below a fishing vessel with a hole in its hull. The pier is to the north. Okay, well, having given everybody a nice little jump scare there, let's go to the north. Have a look. Okay, that's the pier we've just come from. West goes round to the corner of the island. Have we not just come from there? I think we have. West leads out to sea. You can get a bit lost, I think, in this one. Okay, you're out at sea. The sun is warm on your dorsal fin, and little fish bravely dart around you. You can return to the coast east or go down to investigate a coral reef. Okay, let's go down. Down, deeper and down. Okay, you are swimming just above a coral reef. A metal drum on the seabed is covered in strange symbols and gives a greenish glow. You can go back up to the surface. Nothing much to explore here, so let's go back up. Okay, we can only return to the coast east, and that's back to where we were. The beach is north. That's where the young boy was. The island is south. Again, this is where you can get a little bit lost unless you make a map in some of these old kind of text adventure games. Now, we've already been out to sea. We've just come from the north east. East runs along the shore. We've already been there. Okay, you are near the southern beach. There are guns, boats and people screaming, so you stay in deeper, more peaceful waters. East will take you into an estuary. The pier is to the west. We can go south to leave this miserable island. Let's have a look in the estuary, shall we? Okay, you're in a small estuary which turns north into a pond or goes back out to sea to the west. You feel trapped and angry. Grrr. Let's carry on north, shall we, into the pond. Big fish in a small pond. Ooh. You're in the pond. There are yachts here with more people on them. Happy people. Not for long. You feel hungry and frustrated. The only exit is south. Okay, let's try a tap. Oh, hang on. Attack yachts. You crash into the yacht, knocking people into the water. They are not so happy now. You are in the pond. The police chief's son is in the water along with a man. When you attack one, the other may escape, so choose wisely. The only exit is south. And as I mentioned, we are not advocating the eating of children. So let's just eat the man. It might just be a nondescript man. Oh, there we go. Chomp. You take several bites and drag the man around. Meanwhile, the chief's son scrambles to safety. You're now 38% full. Okay. And that's some very lovely spectrum art of somebody's severed leg. You're in the pond. Tasty-looking leg of human drifts through the water. The only exit is south. Okay, might as well just eat the leg. You snap it up immediately. And you're now 43% full. You're in the pond. The only exit is south. Okay, so let's just get back out to sea, to the west. Kind of explored that easily. Let's go south and leave this miserable island again. Down. We've been here before, haven't we? You are near the seabed. A thick cable runs along and strongly triggers your sense of electroreception. The surface is up above. Would anyone like to see what happens if we eat the cable? Wonder what happened at the end of Jaws 2. It was something like, oh, yeah, there we go. That's the ending of Jaws 2, as your teeth pierce the outer layers, hundreds of thousands of volts surge through your body, through your head even, before exploding your body. Your final score is 43%, which is a bit arbitrary. That's one of the endings. What I'll do is I'll leave you to explore some of the other endings yourselves if you want to play this game. Actually, we'll restart the game and we'll try and get to the standard ending, and there'll be two other excuse me, there'll be two other endings that you'll be able to go and find yourselves. So I want to leave you a little bit more to explore. Right, let's try and just get back briefly to where we were. I just actually wondered, can we eat the boy? The boy even? And that was spelled that wrong as well. Oh boy. Right. Oh, no, we can't eat the boy. The command doesn't do anything here. Oh, well, never mind. Right, so let's go out further east. Maybe one's on the south. Let's just keep eat the woman again, just to keep us going. 12% full. Yes, nice. Right, south. South again. And just kind of where we were. Let's just go and eat the dog. Yeah, very nice. Right, now back out south. These things around to the southern shore. We've kind of all been there. Let's eat and fill our stomachs. Okay, south leads out to sea. Those are the yachts. We've already been to the pier. Again, this is kind of where you can get a little bit lost on these old style adventure games. Have we been west? We have. West leads out to sea. You're out to sea. We've done that bit already, haven't we? East to the southern shore. Carrying out a bit further south. Again, we've been this way. Just bear with me and we'll try and get back to where we were. Keep going east. South again. Head south even further. Ah, right, okay. You are at sea, near an old boat with a noisy engine. Someone's going to need a bigger one, I think, at some point. There is bait on the line. The island is north. I think this is the infamous part in the film we actually do see the shark for the very first time, and Roy Schneider's character kind of gets taken aback by it. And of course that was the infamous mechanical shark known as Bruce, and of course that was a bit of a reference to Jaws in Finding Nemo, funnily enough. Okay, so let's eat the bait. The bait even. More bait. As you eat, a harpoon is fired into you with a barrel attached. You try to shake it off, and the boat is gone when you service. You're now 27% full, and we have a yellow barrel in our inventory. Okay, you're at sea, the island is north. The faint sound of a jolly singing to the west awakens a fierce rage in you. That's, as the Pet Shop Boys always used to say, go west. Oh, you have found the noisy old boat. On deck, the police chief is throwing offal in the water. So this is the scene where we see Jaws for the first time. Okay, let's eat the offal. Not the biggest fan of offal myself personally. You grab small pieces at the service and give the chief a scare. Yeah, it's that bit. 2 more harpoons are fired. You're now 28% full, and we have another yellow barrel. It's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Red barrel, yellow barrel, red barrel, yellow barrel. Okay, whatever. The boat has moved north towards the island. You feel compelled to follow it to the bitter end. Let's do that. You are below the boat. It has stopped and lowered a cage containing a diver who has come out to play. Oh, I think we're going to have to eat Richard Dreyfuss. What a shame. Okay. Attack the cage. Oh, okay, we go. You chew at the metal cage, opening up, but the diver manages to swim away. You are below the boat and a broken cage. You can swim down or leap up onto the deck. Let's go down and chase Richard Dreyfuss away. You chased him into a derelict in the film. You are on the seabed with nothing but some seaweed. Up leads to the boat. Eat seaweed. Of course, seaweed, dried seaweed, is a bit of a snack these days. Excuse me. You get no satisfaction from the slimy vegetation, but its removal reveals the diver. You're on the seabed. A diver cowers behind rocks. Up leads to the boat. Sorry about this, Richard Dreyfuss. We're going to have to eat you. Let's see how much you fill up Jaws' belly. The wetsuit is a bit chewy, but you eventually get through it. You're now 42% full, and you've eaten Richard Dreyfuss. Never mind. You're on the seabed, littered with pieces of non-biodegradable rubber. Up leads to the boat. Right, here we go. Up to the boat. And up onto the deck. Right, this is the infamous scene, I think, where Robert Shaw gets eaten by Jaws in quite a bloody manner. They actually had a diorama of that scene at Wells Comic Con in Telford last year, where you could actually kind of stick your legs into a pretend mock-up of Jaws. I didn't want to do that because obviously I didn't want to rip my trousers. Okay, you are on the boat. A shark hunter is slipping around on the deck amongst fishing and diving equipment. You can slide down into the water. You have severely damaged the boat. The stern is broken and sinking. Right, let's eat Robert Shaw. Boom. You give the despised shark hunter a gory death and smash the cabin windows looking for more. More, in this case, being Roy Scheider. You're on the boat. You can see the police chief in the cabin. A final meal awaiting. You can slide down into the water, but I don't think we are. Now, can we eat the chief? Oh, you almost get him, but he backs away and wedges a gas bottle down your throat. Now, of course, this was the end. Roy Scheider, smile, you son of a so-and-so, and blew it up. You're on the boat. You can see the police chief in the cabin. A final meal awaiting. You can slide down into the water. Oh, let's get rid of that bottle. With some effort, you manage to expel the gas bottle, freeing up your jaws. Da-dum, da-dum. There's an old joke, I think, that Joe Lycett mentioned on QI, which is, how do you know that a gay shark is following you? It goes, da-da, 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 da-da. I'm a big fan of Joe Lycett, and maybe we might go and see him in the summer when he comes back to Birmingham. Anyway, you're on the boat. You can see the police chief in the cabin. A final meal awaiting you. You can slide down into the water, or you can eat Roy Scheider. This is probably the alternate ending of Jaws. Funny enough, Steven Spielberg, when he made Jaws, when he read the novelisation for the first time, he actually found himself siding with the shark, and that probably would have been a very interesting ending, I think, if the shark had just eaten everybody and just swam off into the sunset. You never know. Well, let's see. Here is Jaws, the alternate ending. You feed one last time before swimming off into the sunset. Maybe tomorrow you'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, you'll just keep moving on. Oh, a little reference there to, was it The Littlest Hobo? Or something like that? I can't remember. I never really watched that show. think Ashens has referenced that a few times. Your final score, 73%. Now, as I mentioned, there are a couple of other alternate endings to this game, but I'll let you, dear viewer, go and find out some of those for yourselves. That was Jaws, the text adventure game. It's quite a nice little homage, I think, to Jaws and to kind of ZX Spectrum style adventures. It's a fun little game. It's very much got its tongue firmly in cheek. And yeah, quite a rather enjoyable little playthrough there. And of course, let me know in the comments what you think of this game yourself. And of course, please remember to hit that like button, share and subscribe to the channel. And this has been your friendly neighbourhood ranting Brummie, signing off. So once again, everybody, please do stay safe, take care, have an awesome day, and we'll see you all in the next video.